What's up, world? It's Chris Anthony coming at you live and direct again. What I want to talk about today is going to be the nature of reality. What is the nature of reality and what is your relation to reality? Now, some people view reality, or let's say the universe, as something that's more mechanic, something that's more fixed, something that you can't really have an effect on. It only affects you. They kind of view it as a watch, or the gears that's been set into place by God or by the creator, and then it just continues to tick and tick and tick and just function on its own regard, without your input, without your influence. And so those people that view it like that, they have it's a school of thought for that. This it falls into the nature versus nurture argument, that goes on a lot of times, and it just says that your environment affects, what you do. And I do believe that your environment affects you, but I don't believe that the environment or the universe is fixed or it operates in a mechanical type mode. What I believe is on the other side of the argument is that your environment can affect you, but you also can affect your environment, and it's not actually fixed or mechanical. It's more mutable and fluid, and it's intelligent. So the universe is intelligent. Like, you can communicate with it, it communicates back with you, and you can influence it, and it also in turn influences you. This is actually what's going on in your life and what happens on a day-to-day basis. But if you're not privy to it, then you won't understand what actually is going on in your life. So it is a interview that is out, and it's like an interview of Steve Jobs. I believe it was in the 80s or the 90s. He was pretty much talking about this, your relation to reality. And he said that when he grew up, all of his teachers and his parents and society was telling them that it's a certain set of rules and guidelines and laws that you have to stay in and you have to operate in order to be a good person or a good citizen. You had to stay inside of this box and just, follow these rules, live your life, and just stay inside of what we thought reality was. So he said that's what he was doing until he grew up. And when he grew up, he started to see and understand that the same people that made these rules and made this reality, made these guidelines that set it into motion, were people that were just like him. They thought just like him. They were no better, no greater than he was. So he understood that he can actually do the same thing that they did. So he started to see that he could create things. He could create, things for people to operate in, realities for people to be in. And that's what he actually did by creating a company, that could create Apple computers and devices that you can use, and laptops and all these things. So he understood his nature to reality. Now, the biggest thing he said in that interview was that he said that I could poke one end of the universe, and then on the other end something would fall out because of what I did, how I influenced it. So once you start to understand that, you see how you can actually be a co-creator in your life. Now, this happened with me in recent times. It kind of started to pop up to me because I always knew that and I always believed that, but the application of it wasn't really happening in my life like I wanted to. So in recent times, what happened with me is synchronicity started to come into effect. And synchronicity is pretty much the language that the universe uses with you when it wants to create a message with you, when it wants to communicate with you at the end of the day. So the universe can communicate with you through synchronicity, or through these coincidences that you think are just coincidence, but it's actually the universe communicating with you. So what was happening with me is I was seeing numbers like 1111, 111, 222, 333. All of these different numbers were popping out to me everywhere, and I would just see them on clocks, see them at work, see them in my car, see them at home, in the kitchen, all these things, and they would just keep popping up to me. 1111, 111, 222, 333, like all these things. So I started to look it up, and see what these numbers represented and why I was actually just continually seeing them. Was it a coincidence, or was it some type of message that I was supposed to be receiving? And what happened is I saw that it was like more of a message. It was like the universe trying to communicate with me through numbers. And once you look up the numbers, you can see the meaning, that this means this means that, 111 means that, 222 means this. And I started to kind of get more direction in my life and the path that I wanted to take and the direction I wanted to head in, because I had these synchronistic events that were happening in my life that were culminating things and bringing stuff together, answering questions that I had you know, about the direction I want to head in. All these things is what it was doing. So I saw that it was a connection between me and the the universe wasn't this fixed thing, this mechanical thing that operated around me and only affected me, and I wasn't a victim. I could actually be a co-creator and influence and have a communication dialogue with the universe. So once you realize that, then what happens, and what happened to me, is my emotions, my actions, my thoughts, everything became a lot more intentional. Everything was more intentional because I saw that I could affect my reality around me. And there's so many universal laws that speak on this. The law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, you know, that says whatever you do, there is a effect on the universe, or there's effect on your surroundings that will come back to you. You know, the law of vibration says that you send out vibrations, and these vibrations interact with other vibrations, and you affect your surroundings. So you actually have an effect on the things that happen around you, the people that come around you, on the universe at the end of the day. And now it's an effect that the universe plays on you, and this feedback that you give to the universe. And it's just like this rhythm that happens. Once again, the law of rhythm is another universal law. And it's this rhythm that just happens between you and the universe. The more that you become privy to the fact that, okay, you can influence the universe and it can influence you. And so intention is the language of the universe, is what I've heard somebody say before. Don't know exactly who it was, but it stuck out to me. And it makes sense, because anything you do intentionally, anything you focus your attention on, energy flows in that direction. And you can actually change something that isn't the way that you want it to be, just by focusing your intention on it and actually, you know, doing actions to actually change what you see. So when you start living a more intentional life, I believe that you start to affect your surroundings, you affect the universe, you affect your reality more and more and more, instead of only believing that, you know, my surroundings affect me, the universe affects me, my environment affects me, and woe is me, and I'm a victim because this happened and that happened. And okay, that does happen in life. You have things that affect you, but you also can affect it by putting your intentions out, making your intentions distinct, specific, and strong, and you focus on those intentions until you have what you want out of life. That's what I learned, and that's what I know about the nature of reality and your relation to reality, because we transmit vibrations, we transmit energy, we send out all of these different signals, and then the universe, because it's intelligent, it picks up on it. It knows what we intend to do, and it tries to help us out with that. It's not trying to fight against us. It's actually trying to provide, you know, us with the things that we need to accomplish what we want to accomplish in life. But a lot of times we send out intentions that are mixed signals. We send out negative things. We send out all these things, and when they come back to us, we say, what is going on? And we have the victim mentality, but really the universe is only doing what it's supposed to do, operating in the laws that it operates in, and sending back to you what you actually wanted at that time. But when you change your intentions and make it to be something that's going to be helpful to you and actually going to bring you balance and bring you peace, bring you the harmonious lifestyle like I talked about before, then you will see a different effect that you have on your reality, on the universe, and it will communicate with you a lot differently than it has before. That's what I have learned. That's my video about the nature of reality. It is Chris Anthony. Thank you for hearing me. Appreciate you listening. Peace.